Okay, the recording started. Again, hey everybody. I think most of y'all know me and you know who I am. I'm Stacey Hodge, Emerald Ambassador with Plexus Worldwide. Anything you hear or see or experience on this call is brought to you by independent Plexus ambassadors and is not Plexus Worldwide. We also have Missy Hall. Say hi, Missy.
Hi, everyone.
Of course, y'all know her too. She's an Emerald Ambassador with Plexus Worldwide. And we're excited to have y'all on tonight. For those of you that have joined that did not know, our amazing Jewel Coach, Dave Walker, is going to be with us tonight. Hopefully, he's still going to be with us. His flight was delayed, and he's going to be a little bit late jumping on. He said it may be around 7:30 before he can get on. So I know I had a lot of people already jumping on when he sent the message, and he's in flight and delayed. So I didn't want to keep you guys waiting or ask y'all to come back later. And of course, we've always got amazing information that we can share with y'all. We love sharing Plexus. We love talking with y'all and spending time with y'all. So we said we'll just jump right into it. So hopefully, if you got your pens and paper out, we've got some great information that we can share with y'all while we're waiting on Dave to join us. And y'all, I just came back from weekend with 30-something youth. We went to Winter Jam, an amazing experience. I don't know if y'all know what Winter Jam is, but it's 10 Christian artists all in one night. Amazing experience. I was hollering and screaming and woohooing and having lots of fun. So if y'all see me, I've got a dry throat. If y'all see me drinking water, that's why. I'm trying to keep the voice going here. But we talked about momentum and growing our teams and doing things that will keep us in forward movement. We're all here for a reason. We're all here because we want to, change our family dynamics, our financial dynamics, our health dynamics, but we're all in the business for a reason. We want to share and grow our business and hopefully, change our family dynamics by doing that. We all want our teams to grow. I'm going to be looking at my notes too, so forgive me here. I do not have all this memorized. But we want our teams to grow. We want new customers. We want to improve what we're doing. We want to make more money. We want to help more people. We want to win prizes and, go to our convention in Vegas and, earn those prizes and things like that. We want our bonuses. We want to be able to rank up and we want to reach our goals, right? That's what we're all here for. And I'm just going to be 100% honest with you. We've watched leaders create momentum over and over and over, and we always want to know exactly how to do it. There is no magic to this. There is no perfect way to do it. We all have, basically it's been lined out for you. Nobody has to recreate the wheel here, but we've all watched leaders do it and we all want to know exactly how they're doing it. There is no perfect way, but there are some proven ways that we can get the momentum that we want with our businesses. Sometimes it's easy to get caught up in complaining. It's not going the way you want it to go, or, maybe you're just not experiencing what you want to experience. I mean, hey, we've all been there. I'm one of them. I've been there. Well, I've been with Plexus for 5 years. I know Missy's been there for a long time too. Lisa, she's been here almost as long as I have, but we get caught up. There's ups and there's downs. There's great times in our businesses and there's times that are not so great in our businesses, but the important thing is not to get caught up in those times where we're kind of down and feeling sorry for ourselves. But and sometimes we spend more time trying to figure out how we get our teammates to do the work for us, right? I mean, if such and such would just do a little more, this and that one would do just a little more, than maybe we would get where we wanted to be. And the truth is sometimes we need to set the example ourselves and make it happen for ourselves. We're all guilty of doing that, like I said, myself included, but the habit stops here and now. Sometimes you just have to draw the line and get ready to start all over and say no more. No more am I going to try to recreate the wheel. No more am I going to wish that my level 1 or 2 would just do it a little harder, work a little harder, maybe get a few more people on our team. We're not going to spend time just sitting and browsing Facebook and then fuss about our business is not growing fast enough, right? Let's all start here. I'm your friend and I love you. And that's why we're here. We want to, love on y'all, spend some time with y'all and just share some information. We're also leaders and we're expected to be leaders. So we're your friends, but we're also your leaders. It's part of my job to hold you accountable. It's part of Missy's job to hold you accountable. That's what we're here for as leaders. We hold ourselves accountable, and then we'll hold you accountable as well. We have leader sidelines that help hold us accountable, that we work along with daily. And make sure that we're being held accountable and being positive and not getting negative with our businesses and our daily lives as well. So from here on out, expect hard questions, expect that complaints are going to be met with, well, what are you doing? So, understand that we all have those moments, but it's up to us to try to help you move past that. And that's what we're here, and that's what we want to help you do. So, because we love you and we want the best for you, we're going to help you reach your goals. And we're also going to expect that you're going to be doing the necessary actions that it takes to meet those goals. Here's where the magic happens. Magic, M-A-G-I-C. Sorry, I hear my kids or somebody outside the door. I'm easily distracted, y'all, easily. But here's where the magic happens. You ready for it? Get your pen and paper. We're going to start writing down a few things. It's the most simple thing that you can do, and it works, okay? Magic. Maybe some of you have heard this before. I'm kind of hoping maybe a few of you have. Magic is the way to make momentum happen. So let's get ready and talk about it a little bit. M, make a new list. I hope all of y'all have a list, but if you do, push that list aside, start on a new one. Start on a brand new list of at least 100 people. These are prospects. Break it down by, different members, who needs the business, who needs the products, who do you want to do this alongside you. Get at least 50 people, but preferably 100 people on that list. I know you know that many people. At first I thought when they said make a list, I'm like, a list of who and what? And no, I don't know that many people, and they're definitely not going to want to do this. It's a mindset. Doesn't matter if you think they want to do it or don't want to do it, write them down. Don't prejudge. But think about past ambassadors, past customers, current ambassadors, current customers, inactive. It doesn't matter. Just make your list of people that you want to reach out to. That's M, make a new list. A, approach everyone. Everyone. What if I guaranteed you that just by reaching out, you would gain a new customer or teammate? What if I guaranteed that a personal call or an in-person meeting would yield the best results? You'd get over your fears really quickly and then start picking up the phone. Wouldn't you? If it was guaranteed you would get one new one, you'd start doing it, right? If you didn't have their number, you'd meet them in person. At the very least, you'd send them a heartfelt, right? We can all reach out to somebody on Facebook. I can't make any guarantees, but I can guarantee that if you don't make contact with them, they're not going to join the team. They're not going to try your product. So reach out, make sure that you're not missing anyone. I can guarantee that if you think they are amazing, then someone else probably does too. By not contacting them, you're possibly allowing them to join someone else's team or someone else's business. Y'all, network marketing is growing leaps and bounds. Plexus, I believe, is at the top of the heap, but there are many, 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 many other ones out there, from makeup to all kinds of I've been added to so many groups, it's just unreal. So I'm just telling you, if you have people in mind that you think would be amazing at networking with people who are already proven, professional friends, these are the people that y'all definitely want to reach out to. Never, ever, ever think that, you don't think they're going to be interested in the products or the company. You never know. I wasn't interested in the company or building the business either. I've been with it for 5 years now. So don't prejudge. That's one of the most important things, I think. G, get people on three-way calls. You don't have to know all the information. It's not expected of you to know all of the information. What is important is that you help them or help make contact with them and someone else who does know the information. I think many of us who are on right now are seasoned. We do know the information, but third-party validation is Wonderful. It's just there's something about it. It's not just you talking about the product or the opportunity. It's someone else, and third party validation can go a long way. Challenge yourself to see just how many three-way calls you can do for the next 6 weeks. See how busy you can keep yourself, your upline, your sideline, whoever it is that you can get to do these three-way calls. Get them on there. Three-way calls, three-way chats are great. These Zooms, you can use three-way Zooms. It's great. Let's see. I'm skipping over my notes, y'all. I don't want to take up too much time, but I want to make sure that we get the information across. Just do it. Keep it up. Keep doing your three-way calls. Keep getting it out there. Get the information out there. Do the invites. Just invite people to be on these three-way calls, chats, Zooms, whatever's easiest for you and your upline, sideline. Just set the dates and start putting them on the books. You don't necessarily have to ask them if they would be interested. Say, I have a time slot open tomorrow at 12:30. Would that be a good time for you? Or give them an option between two times. I have tomorrow at 12:30 or at 2 o'clock. Which one would be best for you? Leave them with the question that they have to answer. Not, well, I've got some information and I would really love to connect you with my friend Missy. That, would you like to do that, or would that be okay? Or would you be interested in that? Leave them with the question that they need to answer, instead of possibly telling you no thank you. Just tell them, hey, I've got these 2 time slots open. Which one would be best for you? That's C. No, that's G. Sorry. G. I can't even spell magic, y'all. Okay, that's G. Get people on three-way calls. I. Initiate systems for duplication. We have taught duplication from the very beginning. Encourage everyone on your team to do the exact same process. So write this information down, share it with them. You start doing it and they're going to start duplicating it. So make sure that you're doing it with them. When you bring somebody on, because and their initiation was a three-way call, what do you think they're going to start doing? They're going to do the same thing. So you're teaching and training with every move that you make with your potentials. So, make sure that you're teaching them how to invite people. If you don't know, walk through it and learn it together with someone in your upline or someone in your sidelines. Partner up with someone. You do not ever have to do this alone. Figure out how you're going to implement this and do it with every single person on your team. Just go down the line. And I know many of us, I didn't know, I didn't have a clue what I was doing in the beginning. I wasn't doing this when I first started out. And the more and more I got information, I kind of became overwhelmed, and I thought, oh my gosh, I never did any of this right. I'm going to go back and recreate. You don't necessarily have to, but little at a time, sure, go back and just say, hey, I'm learning these great new things. I would really like to, teach you how to do a three-way call. Get on a three-way with your upline and your original level ones. Just go back and retrain them to do it the right way. And that's I, initiate systems for duplication. C, continue with consistency. We all know that consistency is key. Consistency is where it's at. People are watching. People are looking and waiting to see if you're going to succeed or if you're going to quit. But being consistent with everything that you do is so very important. So if you're not continuing with the program and you're not continuing with working your IPAs and your business on a daily basis, then your people are not going to do that either. They're going to lose faith in you. They're going to see your lack of follow through. They're going to lose momentum, lose excitement, and lose interest. So do not let that happen. This is a very simple, proven system, and it has worked over and over again. So just keep doing it. Don't skip out on the parts that you don't like or that kind of make you feel uncomfortable. Sometimes the best things happen when we're just outside of our comfort zones. So don't be afraid to be uncomfortable just a little bit. Don't get lazy and expect that your level ones are just going to take off and do exactly what you told them to do. Sometimes it takes doing it a couple of times or a few times. The more you do it, the more they're going to begin doing it, and they're going to start taking off with it. So it works. It's easy. There's no tricks to it. It's just simple. every day, consistent things that are going to bring your business into momentum. We're doing this a little bit along the way every day, and we're going to bring our own businesses into momentum, and we're going to see our fruit begin to grow, from the root up. We all start growing, our teammates begin growing, and the more confident they are in the process and in the system, the more confident they become, the more they're going to start reaching out and doing things on their own and inviting, and it's just going to keep going over and over. Remember that this is the magic and that we've all been searching for. It's easy, it's simple, so that's all you've got to do. Just magic, MAGIC, magic. Make a new list, approach everyone, get people on three-way calls, initiate systems for duplication, and continue with consistency. That's the magic to grow our businesses and to grow our momentum. Sorry, I'm looking at my messages. I'm trying to stay in contact with Dave as well to see. I'm not sure if he's on. I've got some that are on the phone that are...
I've been checking, but I'm not seeing his name. So.
Okay. I don't either. So, but that's the system for magic. Does anybody have any questions? Since we have a few minutes before Dave comes on, we can always take a few questions and talk through a couple of things before he gets on. Does anybody have anything?
I'm going to share just a second, Stacey.
Sure. Yeah.
I'm not a reader. Lisa can attest to that. I am not a reader. I will get a book. I'll start reading it for just a little bit, and then I just can't read. Maybe it's all my years of teaching. I don't know. But I did start reading a book today. And there's some things that really stuck out to me. We talk a lot. I know we heard this at Super Saturday about sharing our story, not selling. And I think as you go through what Stacey was just talking to you about, it's important, and I need to be doing this more, to realize that we need to be sharing instead of selling something. And this book, I'm going to read something from it. It says, there's an old saying that nothing happens until someone sells something. The problem with that expression is selling is the focus. The motive is often to achieve a quota, win a trip or a car, or appease to maybe your upline who's hounding you to gain some new ambassadors this month. Have we all done that? Because I know I have. It's convention time. We want what? Convention points. We're getting to court. Retreat will be coming up. We want retreat points. And I think sometimes we spend so much time on that, trying to get what it's going to do to benefit us, when our focus needs to be on what is this going to do for this other person. We have products that we all know change lives. And so we need to be sharing that. So imagine instead if our primary goal was to understand others and help them get that which will improve their life significance. So if we change that goal, sharing, it's about being more concerned about what's going to help them. Rather than my bank account, rather than my company, it's about what's going to help them. If I am eating, I've made chocolate chip cookies, and I am eating this hot chocolate chip cookie, and I break off a piece to give it to Lisa. I'm not giving it to her so that I can get a rank or a promotion. I'm giving it to her because it's yummy. I've cooked for once. No, but it's good, and I want her to share that experience. If we can have that same attitude, that this is not about just me selling these products. This is not about trying to get my PV up. This is not about me trying to win a contest in my team group, but it's about really focusing on these products can change lives and what it can do for these people. And that's where I think we have to get into more of the listening and the less of the talking. And I know I'm guilty of that. Somebody will ask me a question, and I'll send them, if it's through private message, I send them this very lengthy, all this stuff about the products or whatever it's going to do. We need to be listening more and then helping them with what they're truly needing. And I know you guys have all heard that before, but our intention with this should be to share and not to sell. And anyway, so I wanted to throw that in as you're doing your magic and contacting people. Just really focus on not yourself, but what these products can do for others.
Absolutely. I like the cookie analogy. Somebody else put that in the chat too. That was pretty neat.
Wow.
I like the way that sounds. I think, a lot of the momentum I had personally in my own business happened when I was just super excited about the products, when it happened organically. And I think, of course we all, once you reach that, and then you start getting past that, you're looking for new ways, to create, excitement and to keep the momentum going. And, sometimes we get lost, sometimes life just happens. We can't, not everybody's not always 150% every day. And that's not expected. That's the beauty of this business. You can take a day off, you can take a step back, and you can breathe. And the important thing is to not stay there. Don't stay there for any length of time. You've got to, eventually you have to put your big girl panties on, and you have to move past it. You have to, find your momentum, find your excitement, and then find a way to build on that. And usually, that happens when we connect with people. I think it's important, we talked about that from the very beginning too. It's very important to have a running partner, somebody that you can do this with, because it's not often that you and your running partner are going to have bad days on the same day. So when you're down in the dumps and you're having a bad day and you just want to we'll do that to, with your running partner. Do that with your, ride or die, as they call them. And then, your ride or die can, respond to you in their loving way. Mine is Stephanie Maness. She's not always loving in her response. Sometimes she's just like, suck it up, buttercup, tomorrow's another day. But, the important thing is, if you have somebody to do this with, if you have somebody to cling to, somebody that you can, reach out to, that you trust in the good, the bad, and the ugly. And then, they can reciprocate, or you can reciprocate for them when they're having a bad day. You can be their, ride or die, the person that picks them up or tells them to suck it up, whichever, works best for you. Sometimes you don't want to hear suck it up. Sometimes you just want to, let it go and see how it checks out. But we all need somebody to do this business with. So I suggest, if you don't have a running buddy, that you go and you get you one. I see a Dave Walker.
Hey, Dave Walker.
There you go. Okay, well, I'm so glad you're on. I'm sorry that your flight ran over, and sounds like you've had a crazy afternoon.
Yes, I'm ecstatic to be here. I appreciate the opportunity to do so. An extra 4 hours in the airport was just what I was looking to do today.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Well, guys, I'm excited. We got to talk to you for a little bit, and I know you weren't expecting to have to listen to us talk for a little while. You were expecting somebody super, and here he is. Without further ado, we have, straight from the airport, running and hustling and breathing and panting, we have Dave Walker, which, in my opinion, is the best jewel coach out there. He always has the right words of infinite wisdom. He's exciting, he's motivated, he's encouraging, he's a great guy all around. So I know he's got some nuggets of information for you. So if you didn't have your pens and paper already ready, please get them now. Without further ado, our Missy and I's jewel coach, Dave Walker.
And wait a minute, I want to say something.
Okay, yeah.
First of all, where's pink, and where's the bow tie?
Oh man, fresh from the airport. I could go get a bow tie if you wanted me to.
Those of you that saw, there was a video that came out from corporate. They were dancing.
Yeah.
Dave was the one in a pink shirt, bow tie, had all the moves. He usually has on pink socks too, I think.
You know the deal with the pink, but unfortunately today, what you see is what you get.
We'll take it. Welcome, Dave.
Awesome. Thanks so much. In effort to make the most of our time, and I really appreciate everyone's patience with the little hiccup that I had today, but I'll introduce myself, and then I'm going to jump right in the deep end here. Like Stacy said, my name is Dave Walker. I'm the Western Region Business Coach for our corporate office. That means that I coach the western half of the United States, as well as our international markets as well, so Canada, New Zealand, Australia. I've been with Plexus just over a year, almost to the day. February 28th would have been the 1 year. Best thing to happen to me for 3 reasons: personally, professionally, and health-wise. We'll get into that. I'm originally from Nebraska. Born and raised in Omaha, and moved out here about 5 years ago when I decided I was done scraping ice off my windshield and I wanted to play golf on Christmas Day. So that was 5 years ago. 10 years, a little of my background, 10 years in restaurant leadership development and training for a hospitality group out of Oklahoma. When I left that, I moved into like a career coaching role, which in a Cliff Notes version meant that I would connect with people and coach them through getting their dream job. So the resume, the application, the interview process, their follow-up procedure. And then I would call the company that they wanted to work for and say, hey, hi, my name's Dave. I got the perfect person for your job. And I would facilitate that introduction. So that's what led me to Plexus in a roundabout way, and now I've been with them for a year. So again, I'm really excited to be here. Thanks so much for your patience. A couple of things that we're going to touch on tonight. I think that we could do an entire 30 or 40-minute Zoom call on alone. So I will touch on many different subjects. At the end of tonight's call, I would love for you to, to let your leaders know which one of these topics that you really enjoyed, which one of these topics that you would like to hear more on, and then that's what we'll do the next call on. Okay. So something that I'm super passionate about, just to begin with, within Plexus as a corporation and with the way my leaders approach my everyday is personal development. Okay, so that's the first thing I want to touch on, because I truly believe that as we develop ourselves personally and professionally, that's what gives us the opportunity to really identify areas of missed opportunity within our business or areas that we can grow that will truly have an impact on the bottom line. Okay, so follow me. I promise this will all go full circle. I'm not going to ask anybody to share with me what it is that I, asked you to write down. So it's just for you. Okay, so there are no wrong answers. Okay, first thing I want to know is, and again, I promise this will come full circle. First thing I want to know is, who is your hero? I want you to write down who your hero is and 2 to 3 characteristics that individual has. Okay, mine is very simple. It comes right to mind. Mine's my mom. Now, my 3 characteristics would be that she's selfless, that she is transparent, and she's hilarious. So who is your hero, right? And as I think about, working for a corporate company, the corporate side of a company like this, and then think about who is my hero, I find myself wondering what makes people want to follow a leader, right? Some reluctantly, some passionately to the end of the earth, okay? The answer is character, okay? So the reason I bring it up and I start there is because I want to share with you my story a little bit, why I'm passionate about Plexus as a company. And it first and foremost was from the character of the individuals that run the show for us. Our CEO, Tarl, our president, Alec, the entire executive team, our sales team, my vice president of sales. These are people that I think the world of. They have a character that's unshakable and truly authentically treat me like they're equal. So everybody here has heard we're one Plexus, right? Well, in my experience from a corporate standpoint, it's one thing to write down on a piece of paper who you are and hand it out to people and say, here's who we are. It's entirely different to live that culture, right? And that's what they do. They live it. It comes from the top. You can't have a company that says we're one Plexus and then have a CEO and a president to walk around all high and mighty, right? Our president will come over to my desk, talk to me about business, talk to me about our kids, talk to me about golf, talk to me about a lot of things. I taught him how to tie a bow tie before last year's convention. Like, he authentically treats me like his equal. Our executive team has hundreds of years of phenomenally successful experience, and he's still very humble. Come to my desk, treat me like his equal. So the first reason I was passionate about Plexus was that I was ready to go to work for these guys before I knew what slim was. No exaggeration. So first it was character, okay? Second was the product. And unlike most of you, where it was, maybe the passion of the person that introduced you to the product was pretty cool to see, but it's the product that got you passionate about Plexus, right? So just to share with you a little bit about my product story, which is developing still. So I've been on the probiotic, the Mega X, and the X Factor for a little over 9 months now. I call it my 13 servings of fruits and vegetables. I call it that because it's a proactive approach to feeling the best I ever have this year. That's the way I look at these products. It's not a product that is like an instantaneous, I feel so much better, right? But I understand that my body is functioning better. And so I've been on that product, those 3 products religiously for a little over 9 months. The first 60 days, I had to set an alarm that would go off at 9 p.m. like, hey, go take your stuff, right? You know, so it's something that I definitely encourage as we're bringing new customers and ambassadors on, is that consistency, right? They have to take the product every day. If at the end of the 30 days, someone new says it didn't work, they didn't take it. That's how I feel about it, okay? But so, you know, beyond that, full disclosure, you're looking at a slim skeptic in recovery, okay? Because it took me 10 months to take Slim for the first time. Even after connecting with, knowing it's our best-selling product, connecting with hundreds of jewels.
I'll have to go back in a minute.
You gonna hook me up, Stacy?
Gotcha.
All right. So, I mean, even after hearing hundreds of stories about the amazing impact that this product has had on people's lives, I wasn't taking it, and I was one of those people that didn't believe that they needed it, right? So I'm on the phone with a jewel, and we're setting some goals and setting some strategy. It was 42 days ago today, okay? So we're setting some strategies, setting some goals. And, you know, and she said, wait, so we did a little role play. She asked me what products I was on. I told her. She's like, you're not on the Slim? And I was like, no. And she's like, why not? Well, you know, to be honest, if I lose 10 pounds, I'll blow away in the wind. I'm not up against any medical condition. I eat pretty clean. I'm in the gym 4 times a week. Like, I don't need the product, you know? And she said, no, you have no idea what you're talking about. If you want me to do this, and this, then you're going to take the Slim. And I said, okay. And I was very humbled because it meant that our relationship had grown to a point where she was comfortable to challenge me, right? I'm put in a position to say, here's the goals. Here's how we're going to get there. We're going to get there together. And she was challenging me. So it was a really awesome experience. I'm not going to get all non-compliant on you guys. 42 days later, I feel 18 again. Okay, I feel amazing on this product. I'm really sad that I waited 10 months, but really happy that somebody, you know, challenged me to give this a try. So, I mean, on Friday nights when I'm playing soccer, I feel 18. On Saturday morning, I'm back in my 30s, but on Friday nights, I feel 18 as I'm hitting the field. So second was the product, okay? So back to character. You know, the truth about character is that character is more than talk. Anyone can say that they have integrity, but action is the real indicator of character, okay? So I want you to write down 1 or 2 ways in the next 7 days that you could let your actions reflect your hero's character. Okay. Character brings lasting success. True leadership involves others. That's why all of you are here with us tonight, right? And it's the character of Stacy and Missy that has given them the opportunity to have such a sustained success in our business model. It comes from their character. Is the reason that I'm comfortable to take some time out of our evening to spend with you guys, because it's the character of these ladies. I feel like I'm sitting in a room full of friends, okay? It's their character that is giving them the opportunity to be as successful as they have for as long as they have, okay? I had a boss a long time ago tell me, if you think that you're leading and no one is following, you're just taking a walk. Okay? You're sitting with a couple leaders, and I'm proud to be sitting with them, okay? The next thing I want to do is I want you to write down 2 ways that you could work as a team in the next 7 days, okay? When we say true leadership involves others, I want you to write down 2 ways that you could work as a team in the next 7 days, okay? My favorite example for this is to have an accountability partner, okay? You know, to find somebody that you're comfortable to receive constructive criticism from, who's comfortable to receive that type of criticism from you, set some goals together, and hold each other accountable. And it's a very simple way that, you know, the 2 of you can be power partners and work a business together. You'll never feel like you're alone. That makes sense. Does everybody here have somebody like that?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe a little bit. I think it's a really awesome thing. Okay. So talent is a gift, character is a choice. Okay, we get to choose our character every day, right? To cop out or dig out, to bend the truth or to stand under the weight of it. It's a choice. The next thing I want you to write down is 4 to 5 words that would describe your character. 4 to 5 words that you would use to describe your own character. Okay, I don't have to know you to know that on that list there's unique and loving and caring and passionate and selfless, powerful, amazing, healthy, confident, so on and so forth. I don't have to know you to know that on that list those things exist, right? If you weren't all of those things, you wouldn't be here with us tonight. Okay, tonight I want you to continue to reflect on those. I want you to write down 10 characteristics of the people that you would love to have on this journey with you. 10 characteristics that you would like your dream team to have, right? Maybe some of them align with your strengths. Some of them maybe are in areas that you would consider a weakness for yourself. So, it's somebody that you can partner with so that your strengths work well together, right? 10 characteristics of the people you'd like on this journey with you. Then has everybody done a Frank's list? Those of you that I can see, you've done a Frank's list, yes? Okay. Tonight, I want to put a little spin on the Frank's list. I want to take those characteristics that we just wrote down about the people that are on our dream team, and I want to apply the names from the Frank's list to the characteristics that they have, right? So if Sally is very independent and is a go-getter and is a really good, a sales type of person, then I want to attach her name to those characteristics. And as I'm reaching out to build the relationship with Sally, I want her to know that that's why she's on my list. I don't want to just call Sally and be like, hey, Sally, it's Dave. I got some pink drink, some probiotic, and I really want you to take it too. And if you have some time, we can meet at a Starbucks. No, I want Sally to know that the reason that I'm calling her is because she has these characteristics, and I would love the opportunity to partner with somebody that has those on an everyday basis. Does that make sense? Good. The beauty of this business is the relationships. Okay. Like people do business with people they like, right? When we start to look at influence or persuasion, people do business with people they like. It's the number one shortcut to a trusting relationship. So one of the reasons I have such a huge buy-in for this business model is because it 100% revolves around building relationships. Okay. So I want Sally to know why it is we're calling, not just that we have this product and compensation that's second to none, but that we see X, Y, and Z in Sally. We would love the opportunity to share this business opportunity with her, right? So above the products, which are second to none, the compensation, I've studied 22 compensation plans in network marketing to be the best I could possibly be to support our jewels. You have the best one by far. It is second to none. I still believe that the relationships are what's going to last forever. If I got a curveball or a promotion and was no longer Stacy or Missy's coach, I firmly believe that we would continue to connect as friends. It's the relationships that are what's most important. I want to build on that. I want to understand that takes time, right? So as we're building those relationships and recruiting, we're working at the power of 3, right? Who knows what I'm talking about? The power of 3, right? Now, this is like a business model that's almost so simple that we overthink it, right? Don't get me wrong. I understand from my living room, it's harder or it's easier for me to say go silver every month than it is to do. The truth of the matter is it's easier said than done, right? But I want to remind all of you that every single person I work with, from silver to senior ruby to diamond, are diamond level reps. Their goal is to go silver this month. Okay, so I want that to remain at the forefront and understand that that's always going to be the goal. On the first of the month, decide to kick that month, you know what? And on the first of the month, we're going to set a new goal. We're going to work towards it again. Okay. Next thing I want to talk about is an ugly word. I don't like the word attrition. Who knows what I'm saying when I'm talking about attrition, right? Okay. the truth of the matter is that it exists with every single business that has ever been created. I don't care if you have a taco truck, a doggy daycare, or a Plexus business. If you have the best carne asada tacos on the face of the planet, not everybody that comes through your line is going to come through again. That's the truth. I want to acknowledge that attrition is real. I want to say, never mind that. I want to move forward. Now, if somebody quits my Plexus team, and doesn't want to sell the product anymore, are we going to stop being friends? No. Am I going to give them a dirty look at the grocery store? Yes. So, there's a saying that it's easier to give birth than it is to wake the dead. Okay. So I want to acknowledge that attrition is real, that not everybody that starts on your team is going to be with you in 6 months or a year. And I want to say, never mind that. I want to move on. Now, just to clarify, I had a good question last time, was that because I don't think that somebody that qualified and ordered last month but didn't order this month, I don't think that that's attrition. That's a lack of follow-up. Okay, attrition is somebody who hasn't ordered for 90 days. So I don't want you to think that if somebody that qualified for you last month and hasn't this month doesn't deserve a phone call. They do. Let's give them a call. Let's see why they haven't, right? But attrition is 90 days or more. If somebody has disappeared for 90 days, I do not want more than one phone call going out to that individual over the next 30 days. I want to bring on somebody new, right? Again, I'm not saying stop talking to them. I just mean I'm not going to put a bunch of focus into their white line in my back office report at the end of the month going, why haven't they ordered, right? I'm gonna be focused on growth. Okay, so I mentioned follow-up, and I mention it because it's the number one contributing factor to attrition in our business is follow-up. Okay, so I want you to put a system in place with yourself and with your team where follow-up is scheduled. Somebody decides to become an ambassador, you're going to schedule the follow-up right then and there, 7 days later. They're signing up on a Monday. Today's the 6th. Right? So we're going to set it up for Monday the 13th. Okay, awesome. I'm so excited you're joining my team. I'm going to follow up with you in a week on Monday. Which time is better, 4 o'clock or 6 o'clock? I'm going to give them 2 options. I'm going to schedule it. I say it like that because you are CEOs. Your families are the shareholders. CEOs do not miss meetings. Okay? I compare the first 60, 90, 120 days to being an ambassador to the first 3, 4, 5 years of a child's brain development. Now, the more we learn about how important that time is for our children, the more healthy food and education and love we pour into them during that initial time period. And it's not to say that if you pump your kid full of pixie sticks and let them play in the street that they can't grow up to be a great kid. The truth is they can. And the same could happen with the Plexus ambassador, right? So sometime you might come across somebody that just signs up, takes the welcome pack, and hits the ground running, and you don't have to do anything, right? They just run and run and run. You're like, oh my God, how am I going to keep up with this person? But most of the people, we're going to have to pour some love into that first 30, 60, 90, 120 days, right? It can make or break their situation. We need to train them. We need to encourage them. We need to support them during that time so that they can be the best ambassador that they can. We need to set them up for success. So I want to schedule my first follow-up. During that follow-up, I want to schedule the next follow-up. I want to continue to put it on the calendar and hold myself accountable that we're not going to miss this meeting, right? So a little trick is if you get the person to message you what time it is that you guys are going to meet. So let's say that me and Stacy were talking and we got off the phone and I was like, well, and so we set an appointment for next Monday at 9 a.m. and we got off the phone and I was like, hey, hey, Stacy, what time did we set our call for next Monday? And she texted to me, then she's 35% more likely to be there, be on time, and be ready because she messaged me that information, right? So just as a little trick, and like I knew what time our appointment was. I set it on my calendar when we were talking. But if I ask her to reiterate it to me, she's 3 times as likely to show up. Okay? So in conclusion, I know I went a million miles a minute, so I'm glad we're recording so we can take a look at this. But in conclusion, I just want to remind us all that we have the opportunity to impact and change lives. We know how important and how phenomenal this product is. Okay, I have a passion and a compassion for people and their health. It does not have an off switch. Okay, so do you. That's why you're here. I'd like to think that you have an off switch. Those are healthy to have. Okay, but I want to then also remain conscious that unfortunately our good intentions, they're not enough. Our intentions to help as many people feel better this year as possible, they're not enough. They require action. Okay, so tonight I'm asking you to act, not for the rest of March, not until convention, not for the rest of 2017, for the rest of your days as a Plexus ambassador, right? To act on your intentions, which are to see just how many people we can impact, okay? I got 2 quotes here for you and 6 minutes before my next call, okay? So two quotes that have impacted my life, and I can't wait to share. The first one has a little funny story with it. So it's never for the sake of peace and quiet deny your own experience or convictions. Never for the sake of peace and quiet deny your own experience or convictions. So, funny story. As I'm joining our sales team, we're into an open-aired area in the office, right? It's a big, wide open area, 40, 50 people in there. And, you know, like I said, like my passion and compassion doesn't really have an off switch. I feel like you're witnessing the equivalency of a Halley's Comet. To see me sit still for 30 minutes to talk about this, I'm so fired up. I'm all over the place. Right, so when I'm on the phone, I start getting on the phone with some jewels. I'm getting to know some people, and I'm all over the place. I'm walking all over the place. I'm a loud individual, fired up. I don't sit still at the office, right? So I go to lunch like a week after I've been on the phone. I go to lunch, and I come back, and there's this sticky note on my computer that says, hey, Dave, could you do us a favor and sit down and not be so loud? And I thought, oh, my God, I'm bothering people at work. Like, I can't believe this is not what I want to do. You know, I'm literally affecting productivity. This is not what I want to do. I feel really bad, right? So I'm for the next 2 days, here I am at my desk. I'm in the corner of my desk. And my boss, Sarah Bjorgard, our vice president of sales, the true difference between a mentor and a boss. I'm so thankful. But she comes out and she's like, hey, has anybody seen Dave? And I'm on the phone and I'm muted and I'm like, boss, I'm right here. And she's like, no, 2 days, I haven't seen him. Like I've been in my office. I haven't heard him. Like, is he sick? Like, what's going on? And I was like, well, I may or may not have gotten multiple complaints about how loud I am here on the floor. And she stood there for a second and she said, Dave, I want you to stand up and turn up the volume. And she shared that quote with me. She said, your passion, your fired upness, your passion for this company is why I have you on this team. I don't want you to be anything other than yourself. Okay. So it was really awesome advice to come from somebody that said, like, love yourself, be yourself. Don't let the one little complaint, deter you from doing this. Now, and then at the end of the story, they moved me way across the other end of the room so that I didn't bother people anymore. But the truth was that she just wanted me to be myself, right? And so that quote in my mind applies, in this type of situation, because how many people here have wanted to tell somebody that they came in contact with or were having a conversation with about Plexus, but they were afraid of what that person would think, right? A lot of us. Okay, so I want to remain conscious. Like, so one more quick story. Like I'll go to the grocery store, to the gym, and I'll bump into people and be like, hey, how are you? And if they say anything other than amazing, I say to them, like, well, we should talk then, because I can fix that. And they're like, what? Like, and like, I told you I was good. And I'm like, yeah, I know. I want you to be great. I want you to be amazing. I represent a product that can change that for you. And like, 9 out of 10 times, full disclosure, 9 out of 10 times, the person like looks at me like, and walks away, right? They don't say anything. But every once in a while, I get somebody that's like, what are you, they're infected by the passion, by the idea that I'm interested in helping a stranger feel better this year. right? And so that stems from that. That's the approach that I would like you to take, right? Is to not ever allow the thought of what someone might think about you deter you from giving them the opportunity to have a phenomenal product, right? Don't cheat yourself. Don't cheat that stranger, right? Never for the sake of peace and quiet deny your own experience or convictions. Okay, it's powerful. Use it. Okay, the last one here, makes me, is a little more personal for me. I just got back from out of town and I was in Denver, but the week before that, I had the cutest little cutie 72-pound grandma come out to visit me for a week and play some golf. She's 84, a blessing. And, we're a family of faith. When I think about her, my family, I think about our faith. And she would always challenge me to pray as though everything is up to God and work as though everything's up to you. A far more common quote. A lot of people have heard that. But the reason that it hits home for me is because, we have to act on our intentions, right? We can pray and partner with our God, but tomorrow morning we got to wake up with a purpose, right? And we know that he's not going to pay our bills. So something that my grandma, would always say to me and challenge me to do is to pray as though everything's up to God and work as though everything's up to you. And was a very successful for her throughout her life. So it's something that I'm passionate about and has affected me on an everyday basis in my career. So I like to share it with you all. So I wish I had some time, Stacy, for some questions. I'm really super thankful for everybody's patience. Please chime in, ask Stacy and Missy questions, weigh in on what subject you would love to hear more about. If you want to hear more about verbiage and follow-up, I'm the guy for the job. You want to hear more about, like identifying attrition and how to try to nip it in the bud before it leaks a lot, then I'm the guy for the job, and I'm excited to partner with you guys. Okay.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. We got some feedback. I do appreciate your time, and we'll definitely get together with our people and ask some questions and stuff. I'd absolutely love to have you on again, of course. And I love your quotes, but I will say this. One of my takeaways was probably not supposed to be the takeaway, but when you said stand up and turn up the volume, that spoke volumes to me. Stand up and turn up the volume. I love it.
Good. Well, keep that smile on. I can't wait to connect with you both again. I'm sure I see some faces in here that'll be on that Jules list before we know it. So kick this month's you know what, and we'll see you soon, okay?
Thanks, Dave.
Bye.
Bye.